How's it going, guys? It's me, Sandwich, and welcome to episode 3 of Predicting Splatoon 3. I'm not really predicting it at this point. I'm basically just telling you my fan-made story. Um, so, so this is this third part, which is DLC for the game. Or at least updates, or I'm not really saying much except for new gears and all that. So, all I can say is that I made this fan-made story mode, or my second fan-made story mode called Splatoon 3: The Rise of Agent 7. This Splatoon 3 bonus story mode, or at least second story mode, is also fan made, just like the first one I made. It's the sequel to the first Splatoon 3 story mode, so it takes place right after that, and it's it's kind of basically like one of the crazier ones. So there's 24 chapters. It's basically the same 20, but an extra 4, and so you get to play at age 11, 12, 13, 14 for the last game, but Agent 4 and Agent 8 are also playable. And then I'll basically just tell you everything from this. So let's get started. So like I said, this basically takes place right after the first story mode. So it starts off with Marina running in like a dark hall because she's like trying to run away from Sentinite Octarians, and then she trips, and then and then Agent 7 comes in and says, "You will pay for your betrayal, Marina." And then he shoots her, and then it was all just a dream. Then she falls back to sleep, and then she's been not really happy, and probably asks if she's okay, and she says she's been having about these bad dreams. And then she felt like she needs someone else to talk to besides Pearl, not her friends or anything, but and then so she calls Agent 12, which is my character's brother, not me, my character's brother. Because my character's brother, Agent 12, is Maria's boyfriend. So it takes place right after because like I said, it takes place right after the Splatoon 3 story mode. And she tells 12 about it, and then we also cut to Agent 11 while he's just enjoying life, because 13 is his girlfriend now, and 13 was one of his close friends turned to girlfriend. So and and it's basically he just nothing else from there, and then something drops from his coat, or at least a coat of his, because it's basically like some Octarian um, technology or something like that. And then he picks it up, and then he gets weird flashes inside. He blacks out for a minute, and then he drops it, and then Octarians invade the house. So I forgot to mention the name of the chapter. This is called Chapter 1: Octarians in the House. Um, so of course he has to warn 12, but they have different rooms, and he has to sneak by, and then he makes a noise, and then he basically has to run, um, and then he dials 12, and then you basically have to escape through a window, and we see 11 12's parents, or at least their dad anyway, and he says to get behind something, and then with the Octarians down, um, and then and 11 and 12 say, if you have to keep it secret, do not say anything about what we're gonna do. And then and you play at age 11, and you'll get help from Agent 12, which is my character's brother. Um, so they take down the Octarians. So I'm Agent 11, and my character's brother is Agent 12, and he's named Marina and all that. Back to what I was saying. And then after you beat the Octarians, which are sensitized anyway, they basically have to explain everything, or something like that, and then 11 has to pick up the technology that caused it. Of course, he doesn't touch it with his hands. He picks it up with something else, and then he puts it in something. And then 13, 14 come and ask what happened, and then 11 tells 13, 14 to take the technology to Maria so she could figure it out. And then after that, it's chapter 2 for 1. You play as Agent 12, and you'll get. It's basically just a regular mission where you have to get Zapfish, and the missions actually you get 2 Zapfish instead of 1, because the last mission I mentioned in chapter 16, you'll fight Octolings, and the Zapfish was missing, but they found it in chapter 2 of the Rise of Agent 7 story mode. So we found the other one. Yay. Chapter 13, Showtime. So it's basically you play as either Agent 13 or Agent 14. So it starts off with like the agent and like all four of them are in their regular school and all that, and then kind of seeing things like he keeps turning the pages and he's still seeing the same thing, and then he asks his teacher, Mr. Hype Man, or something like that. I don't know. If he could go to the nurse because he's not feeling himself, and then he passes out, and then you play as either Agent 13 or Agent 14, and you take them to the agents, and while you do that, you have to fight some octolings or sensitized octolings, and then you get them to the agents and all that. Chapter 4, Unhappy Ink Union. So you play as either Agent 4 or Agent 8. So they go on a mission to like get the Starfish or something like that, and then they see some octolings like right in front of them, and then they see Agent 7 again, and then he says, "You abandoned your family and Octopia. Now pay 8 for your betrayal." So Agent in 8 was basically kind of also like Marina, where she keeps being called a traitor. I mean, Seven's more upset about Marina more than 8, even though 8 is Seven's little sister. It's kind of hard to explain, but you have to fight Agent 7. So whoever you pick will fight Agent 7 while the other one will fight some Octolings off screen. So I would pick 8 because of them both being Octolings and their siblings. 7's older than 8. So then once you defeat 7, he goes like, "This isn't over," or something like that. And then he super jumps out of there. And then in Chapter 5, Come With Me, you play at age 11. It's basically just an Octarian level. You'll fight sensitized Octarians. And at the end of the chapter, you basically get surrounded by sensitized Octarians. And before he gets shot off, someone rides in their motorcycle. And it is Agent 3, who I decided to have voiced by Emilia Clarke. You may know her from Game of Thrones. You may also know her for playing Sarah Connor in Terminator Genesis. I considered it okay, but it wasn't the worst one, but it's in the bottom 3. The movie Terminator Genesis is in the bottom 3 for me, but not the worst one though. Rise of the Machines is the worst one. So Emilia Clarke will voice Agent 3. And she says, "Come with me if you want to live." And yes, that is a Terminator reference. And she shoots the sensitized Octarians, and then she says, "Now, soldier." And then 11 gets up, and then she rides on a motorcycle to get out of there, and then some more sensitized Octarians are running and following her, and then 11 says to Agent 3, "I'll hold them off." And then he shoots his dualies, and then you basically have to shoot the Octarians. And yeah, aim is really important in this part. Then at the end, so then 11 asked Agent 3 who she was, and she said her name was Cassandra, and then she said that she had to get into her mansion, and he said, and then he's like, "Oh, this place." And 3 asks how he knows this because he said that he's an agent for the Squid Ring Splatoon, and then she reveals that she is too. And and then they get in, and then 11 says that he found somebody that helped him out, and of course the other agents, numbered 1 through 8, except for 7 because he's not there, knows them or knows her because of her being an agent. And then at the end of the chapter, 11 is basically just chilling, and then 3 asks if he could talk to him privately, and then she tells 11 since she saved him, and he needs to help her out. Then she said it was basically just a deal, and then he asked what she needed help with, and she said that she needed help confessing something, because she said that she had feelings for Agent 8, because 8 saved her life in the Octo expansion. I ship them. So then 3 just asks how she can tell 8 how she feels about her. And then 11 says just be yourself. And then he says that then he was gonna head home, and then 3 takes his advice and everything. Then chapter 6, this ends here, Octostomp. You'll play as any of the agents except for Agent 3. So you fight the ultimate Octostomp DX. It's a really hard boss, but to make it easier, there'll be all 7 of the agents will will be there, and you can play either 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, or 14, and 3 will just help out, and you can't play as her. It'll be explained later. And then Chapter 7, Ink Rising. So then the agent said they were going to head on out and just try to figure out, or something like that, or at least just try to go somewhere or something, just to find a way to stop the Octarians. And then you'll play as Agent 11 in the chapter, and then Agent 17, and then he will see him because see a shot of ink, and then 12's like, move to Marina, and then he shoots that blob before it hurts anyone, and then 7 says, darn, so close, I was aiming for Marina's traitor's head, and then 12 said, are you insane? You could have killed her. And then he said, oh please, or something like that, and then they basically said surrender, and then a random woman says, not on my watch, and the woman's name is Dark Squid. Now, she is basically just like, basically the opposite of the Inklings. It's basically like an Inkling who just doesn't play by the rules or anything like that, and basically betrayed the Inklings to join the Octarian side. By the way, I decided to have Dark Squid be voiced by Urkala Lens Pope. I'm pretty sure I pronounced it wrong. I am so sorry if I did. In case you're wondering who she is, she voiced the female Corin. And you may notice that I changed Kane's voice actor to Yuri Lorenthal. If you see the video where I predict the English voice actors in the description, I changed it. So if you want to see some of the updates that I changed to voice actors, you can go check that out. So basically, the male and female core are no longer in the same game then. And then he said is that he was basically like the Octolines, except he chose the right side. And then he said is something that would just make Mira feel bad. Then Pearl says, quiet you, don't you say anything about my friend or you'll be sorry. Marina didn't betray anybody. She's the best Octoline in the world. Because, they're best friends. And then I was like, ugh, who allowed this little brat to speak? How irritating. And then he shoots Pearl in the arm. And of course, 12 protects her and says, you do not hurt my girlfriend's best friend, or you'll be sorry. And basically, it's a full-on brawl from there. And then 11 says that he'll deal with Agent 7, and someone would have to fight, and any of the agents would fight Dark Squid off screen. And then he basically gets away again, but Dark Squid ends up getting killed. And 7 said, you failed me for the last time, and then just shoots her in the stomach. And 7's kind of really cruel in this. And it will be explained later. Then he gets away, and then at the end of the chapter, 3 confesses her feelings for 8. I guess. I don't want to talk about it. Chapter 8, Octora rises. So it basically just starts off with Angels waking up, and then some more Sensitive Octarians are out there, and then they capture Pearl Marina, and then 11, 12, 13, 14 go out there while Ian Force said they're going to go on different missions or something like that. And then you'll fight, and then basically just an Octarian level from there, and then you'll fight the boss of the level named Octora, which I decided to have be voiced by Nika Furterman. You may know her for voicing Pandora in Kicker's Uprising. And then somebody crashes through a window, which is Josh again. He returns, and then he actually helps defeat Octora. And then after that, he actually kicks 12 in the stomach, and then 11, 13, 14 all run to 12 to see if he's okay. Then Josh says, "That's from Steel Marina for me," or something like that. And then he jumped through what's left of Octora, and then he basically grows ink wings. sounds like I'm a 3-year-old saying inkling. Inkwing. That's hilarious. That I'm saying inkwing. Sounds like I'm saying inkling like a 3-year-old would. But he goes ink wings, and then he takes Pearl Marina's cage, and then he flies off. And then 12 says he's going to go after Josh. So then it goes to chapter 9. It's go time, Josh. You basically just play as 12, and you'll basically just fight Josh. Before you do that, you'll have to fight some regular Octolings and stuff like that. And then at the end, you'll fight Josh, and then And then after that, he said that he went easy on them that time and then takes the cages again, or someone else takes the cages anyway. And then chapter 10 is 12 versus Josh. You play as 12, and you'll fight some Octarians, and then after that, you have to fight Pearl, which okay, now I'll explain this. So the Hymn of Shades, they made another copy, and then they had Pearl put them on, like they just strapped the glasses onto her. It's basically now you have to fight a controlled Pearl, and she calls herself the Queen of Chaos. And then some type of battle song plays, and then you have to take 4 hits to take her down. And she'll use her battle cry from the Octo expansion. So, and then at the end of the fight, 12 takes the glasses off and then destroys them for good. And then Pearl falls to the ground, and then 12 says, "Are you alright? I didn't mean to hurt you." And she said it was fine. And then 12 said he was gonna go find Josh. And then Pearl said, "12, you're a lot more nicer than Josh." So then both 12 and Pearl both go find Marina, because Josh pretty much has Marina and kind of beating her up a little bit. And then Josh gets hit in the head with a shot from 12's shotgun, and then 12 and Maria hug again, saying that they miss each other. And then Josh says to Marina, "What do you see in 12? He doesn't even fight well." And then 12 says, "You want to say that again?" And then you have to fight Josh for the last time, which is the hard part. And then like the second to last part, and 12 basically grabs Pearl, and then 12 just stops because he does not want to hurt Pearl anymore. I actually do like Pearl, even though I'm kind of making her kind of a punching bag in this. I do not hate Pearl. I actually do like Pearl a lot. Between both Pearl and Marina, I like them both the same, and I can't pick a favorite. So I just wanted to get that out there before you say anything. Then he says game over, and then 12 comes up with a plan and explains why he. And 12 asks Josh why he hates Marina, and then he says all the reasons. I'm not going to say them all. And then Marina punches Josh right in the face. Says and said, "You did not make fun of my best friend." And then 12 grabs the gun, and they both point their guns at each other. And 12 says, "Hey, what's that?" And then basically just shoots Josh, like grabs his glasses and basically just crushes them. And he just said, "I just wanted to get those stupid glasses off him." He doesn't kill Josh or anything. He just lets him go. He just says, "You're free to go." And then he just takes Pearl and Marina and then get them out of there. And then chapter 11, Rise of the Sentinized, is actually going to be a really hard one. So here's how it's going to start. So it starts off with 12 with Pearl and Marina just asking why he didn't do anything bad to Josh. He said because he didn't deserve it. And then they said he kind of did for being mean to Pearl. And then he said that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve it. I mean, not to be mean or anything like that. I'm not going to fully explain the sentence. It'll be kind of hard to explain. I'm kind of thinking how that conversation is going to work. 12 saying he won't say. I know I'm going to have 12 not saying anything bad about Pearl because he respects Pearl. And then they see something behind them, which is a bunch of Sentinized Octarians, Octolings, and all that. And then 12's like, "Run, run, run, run." And then 12, Pearl, Marina all just come running back into the the mansion that they basically hide in, or at least where the Squid Bean Splatoon works. They all just basically take deep breaths, and they ask if he's okay or anything like that, and if they're okay, and then they say that they have a big problem outside, and then Marina says that they should probably look outside, and then they're like, "That's like, oh, carp," and they see Octolings everywhere, and then they get a message on the computer, which is DJ Octavio. So DJ Octavio, I'm gonna have be voiced by S Scott Bullock, unless he's not really to do the job, but he voiced Hades in Kid Icarus Uprising, so I'm thinking he can be the voice actor for DJ Octavio. So then he explains that he basically sent 9 Octarians, and he actually explains that 7 and 8 are his children, and 8 didn't know anything about her, so she said she didn't even know, and of course they believe her, but or something like that. Back to what I was saying. So then then you play either Agent 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have to fight a bunch of Octarians. Like there's so many of them, and you basically have to play as whoever you want. What else should I say? So that's basically it. You just play as any of the agents you want. Then after you defeat like a bunch of them, 11, 12, 13, 14 said that they have that. I don't know. Maria said that they had to send the four back before. Since Octavio take them because if they die in the goblets, they'll die in real life too. So and they tell them that they had to go back into the real world, and they said they had to stay and then Maria said that she wasn't discussing and had to send them back. And then chapter 12, My Inkdom, you'll fight. It's basically more an Octarian level. You'll play either Agent 4 or 8, and then and 3 helps out. And then at the end, you'll fight an Octoworld XL. Octoworld's actually a boss in the first Splatoon game, and you'll fight a harder version of him, but you'll get help from 3 and which agent you don't play as. And then chapter 13 through 24, I'm actually going to explain a different part, because I wanted just to get this video out there. So chapter 13 through 24 will be basically revealed in part 2 of chapter 3, or part 3 of, or part 2 of part 3. I have to go. So chapter 13 through chapter 24 / endgame will be explained in another part. So this is actually why I set this channel as not for kids. I actually just set this channel as not for kids just so I could explain this story mode, because this is actually why I gave the game a T rating. I wanted to get that out there. All right, I'm gonna go. Stay fresh.